Hello, this is Jessica Mckay. I'm an intuitive counselor and spiritual teacher. Thank you so much for watching this video on numerologist.com. This is your March Spirit Guide reading, and as usual, I have a deck of cards here, so I'm going to ask you to pick a message, either message number 1, number 2, or number 3. And I'm going to pull those cards in a minute. But I also want to give you a special message about this month for you. So that'll be included in your number. Whatever number you feel drawn to, I'm also going to read the energy of this month coming up for you. So go ahead, close your eyes maybe, go deep, connect with yourself, and just intuit which message is right for you today. So I'm going to shuffle, and if you were drawn to message number 1, well, the card that comes up is Pele, and it says, Divine Passion, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? And it's this very dramatic image of a volcano. And, you know, the sense I get with this is that there's something simmering under the surface with you, and it is really, really time to let that out. This could be a truth that you have been denying. This could be something that, this could be an emotion. This could be feelings that you've repressed over your lifetime. And the thing about repressed feelings is that we don't know they're there. So we are like a volcano just walking around almost like a time bomb. It's like this stuff is always trying to come up to the surface, to be released, to be healed and acknowledged. And when we develop a habit of always pushing that stuff down, not even knowing it's there, that's when things start to get difficult in our lives. So that makes it really hard to move forward. But this is good news for you, because this card is the message. This is you finally having courage to really see the truth, to really acknowledge what's been brewing in you for a long time. And this could be something happy. This could be something that's very joyful to let go of. And to acknowledge and to bring forth. It's like, hey, you know what? I always wanted to be a singer, and you just let that truth come out. Or this could be something that you were suppressing because you were afraid of how other people would respond to you. And this is your time. That's the message that I'm getting for you. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your life. No more pleasing other people, trying to get it right for other people. You've done that already. You've done that many times throughout your life, and it's never really given you a sense of fulfillment, a sense of belonging that you were looking for. It just made things more difficult. So this is the explosion of truth, which can be triumphant and joyful. So let that happen. If it's simmering under the surface, let it come up. You're safe. It's not dangerous. Sometimes the brain thinks it's dangerous to let go of these deep truths, these deep feelings. And by deep feelings, I'm talking about the ones that are most suppressed, like rage, grief, anger, fear. These are the things that that don't feel good. They're uncomfortable, and so we don't want to experience them. But when you open the door to let them be with you, like a little kid who's scared, when you throw your arms around that inner child and let her be afraid, let her be sad, let her be angry, when you do that, it's the most healing thing you can possibly do for yourself. And you don't stay angry forever. You don't stay in that sad place forever. You allow it to move through you. And then everything feels much lighter afterwards. So this card is asking the question, what is your heart's true desire? It could be that you desire more connection with yourself. It could be more freedom. What is that true heart's desire, and what do you need to do? What uncomfortable step do you need to take to get that, to receive that? That is the big question. Okay, so that is message number 1. Now I want to read the month for you. So I'm just going to take a look at that using my clairvoyance, using my inner eye to look at your month. And what I see is a beautiful pink color. I see a little bit of green in the beginning of the month, and green is usually about a growth period. So definitely doing something like this, acknowledging your truth, would throw you into a growth period, which is to say that spiritually you're moving at a certain pace, you're growing, and it's taking your body a little while to catch up with that. So this is where you need to take very good care of your body. I'm seeing like the first week of March, just take very good care of yourself. This is a time when you might be susceptible to catching a cold, and if you do, no worries. It just means that you're in a growth period and your body is trying to catch up to where your spirit has gone. So I hope that makes sense. But then in the last 3 weeks of March looks pink to me. And pink is about love and self-love, which is what this message was also about, acknowledging what's inside you so you can love it, so you can love yourself. So it looks like a really healing month where you really, really, really go the distance, facing a lot of inner stuff and going with it. So it's looking pretty good. And right at the end of March, I'm seeing the color purple. And when I see that color, it's usually about spirituality and depth and deepening your connection to your spiritual growth. So, all right, there you go. So if you were drawn to message number 2, the card that comes up is Quiet Time. And it says, take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So if you've been really pushing yourself, it's okay to not do that. It's okay to take a rest. And that's what this card is asking of you to do. And I'm hearing from spirit guides here that sometimes you think you're taking a rest, but you're not really. So you are imagining that you're giving yourself the time you need, but then you're also judging yourself for not being productive, or you're still working, you're still putting in as much as you can. And what this is total uninterrupted peace. And it doesn't have to take a long time. You know, you don't have to call out from work. You can take a full 15 minutes, but for that 15 minutes, you really be present with yourself. You could spend this time in nature. It's almost like you need a reset. You need to hit the reset button. And nothing helps us do that more than quiet stillness. You don't have to make your mind stop chattering, because the nature of the mind is that it just talks. So you can let it talk. You don't have to sit in total silence, but to be present with you, to notice your thoughts, to notice what's going on in your body. How are you feeling? Do you have anxiety? What's in there? What's happening for you? So that's what this is asking you to do. And the figure in this card has an aura around her, and you can see little snippets of color in that aura. And the one that really jumps out at me is the deep red. And that's really about establishing your foundation. It's like you feel like you're on a shaky foundation right now. The red really helps you ground, and the quiet time helps you ground. So you're being asked to ground yourself this month. And it looks like what comes out of that is inspiration. my sense is that this card is coming up for you because for a while now you've been just going through the motions. And where's the inspiration? What happened to it? Where did it go? Well, it got lost because when you just push yourself and you don't take the time, you start to feel like you're just going through the motions. So inspiration will come back to you. New ideas will come to you. New thoughts. It's like I see an opening coming up out of your seventh chakra with this card. So you're able to give yourself the rest that creates that healing, that opening for you to step into so that you can receive again. Instead of putting out and doing and doing and doing, this is your time to receive. So I'd want to read the energy of the month for you. So, okay. So the first, what I'm looking at is like a map of the month. It starts here and it ends here, and I'm seeing colors moving across. So for you, the predominant color I'm seeing is light blue. And this is about healing, taking the time to heal yourself, acknowledging what's true for you. It's also about self-expression, but most importantly, it's that self-healing, bringing healing to yourself. No one else can do this for you. This is something that you'll be doing for yourself. And that looks like it's almost a whole 3 weeks of March is in that place of self-healing. And when I say that, it's not because you're sick. It's not because I see you, getting a cold or anything like that. It's just you need that time to recenter and balance yourself. And so this is going to be very subtle. It's healing on a subtle level. And then for the rest of the month, the last week, I'm seeing a yellow. So yellow is usually, for me, when I see it, it's about the mind. It's about mental stuff. So that's when you start to take care of business again. That's when you start to, get all the things done that you want to get done that prevents you from taking quality time for yourself. I see you being able to get that done much more efficiently the last week of March than just pushing yourself and not taking time for yourself. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so if you were drawn to message number 3, the card that comes up for you is Undying Love. And it says, the love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. So when I look at this card, I see all those flowers in the background and this beautiful light in the solar plexus coming up. And the sense I'm getting is that you are a fountain of love. There's always love in you. So even though you might be grieving a loss, you might be grieving the loss of a relationship or the loss of a loved one, just know that who you are is still that fountain of love. You have so much love to share. It comes out of you. And that's where your fulfillment comes from, is when you're loving, when you're giving love. So it's never ending, that fountain. It's your nature. It's who you are. It's who you came here to be. It's everything. And you have it. It's with you. Sometimes growing up, people convince us that they are the source of love, and we have to bargain to get their love, to get their approval, and we have to go against ourselves and jump through a lot of hoops to get it right for them, to get that commodity, to get that love. And this card is reminding you that you are the source. You are the source of that love, especially when you are compassionate to yourself and you let yourself off the hook for experiencing loss, for experiencing grief. Let yourself off the hook. Let it be okay. Don't beat yourself up for anything. And this card talks about the love you have shared, past tense. So if this is about a relationship that you no longer are in, but you expressed love with someone, you shared love with someone, that love is never going away. That's there. That you'll always have that time in your life that you were together, that you were expressing your love with someone, and that can't be taken away. That will live on forever. So if you're, wondering whether someone's going to be okay without you, if you have left a relationship and you feel that, maybe it was a mistake, or what if this person is really going through stuff? I shouldn't have been so selfish. I shouldn't have left. Let yourself be assured that they are okay, and that it was never your job to cure them or heal them or take their pain away. It was never your job or your responsibility. You haven't failed. So the love you share with someone is eternal. Those moments in time, they last. They reverberate out through the universe, and those ripples keep going forever. So love yourself, most importantly. Remember your nature. Remember that you are that love that never dies. You're that love that is eternal. You are eternal, really. So this card is just a reflection. It's a reminder of your nature. So I want to read the energy of the month for you, the month of March. And actually the first color I'm getting for you, as I'm looking at the whole month, I'm seeing it in terms of colors. So the beginning of the month, at least the first 2 weeks, I'm seeing a dark blue, darker blue, and that, when I see it clairvoyantly, is always about releasing. It's about letting go. It's about grieving, acknowledging a loss. So you might be going through something this month. And if you haven't just gone through a loss, this is about old stuff that you're letting go of, childhood stuff. So I'm seeing the first 2 weeks being that darker blue. And then as your month continues, it kind of goes into it's like a washed out kind of yellow. So it's a very pale yellow, and yellow is about the mind and mental stuff. So you might be feeling a little bit of confusion or just mentally foggy. That's okay. That's only going to be a couple of days after those first 2 weeks, because usually when you have a release and you let go of energy, you need a little bit of time afterwards to recalibrate and process what you're going through. So, and then let's see and then you go right to the color purple. And purple is spiritual growth. So this release that you're having at the beginning of March into that time where you're recalibrating yourself, you're up-leveling, really, is what you're doing. So by the end of the month, you're going to be in this beautiful purple vibration, which is total spiritual growth. It's being connected to your higher self. So it's like you're making a massive leap this month. So that's what that looks like. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please let me know, leave a comment, and please feel free to share this video with someone who would love to have a reading.